Hey there, it's Melinda here, co-founder of the Coaches Console, and I have a confession. This is my first Facebook Live, so I am a bit nervous. But we just launched a new series, a 5-part blog series, and I wanted to take each of those topics a little deeper. So I'm going to use Facebook Live, and over the next few weeks, we're going to be doing this and having this kind of conversation every now and then. But one of the things I want you to know, again, another little confession, I have a couple of bullet points. Because I'm nervous with this as being my first Facebook Live, every now and then you're going to see me kind of glance up. I'm just going to refer to my bullets because I want to make sure that you get this information beyond what I've just shared with you in our blog post. So in this first blog post, I talked about what we call the evolutionary scale of an entrepreneur. A lot of people, when they discover this talent that they have, this skill set, most people just they find a nice job, they get paid decent money to do this particular skill set, and all is well and good. But for a lot of people, maybe this describes you, for a lot of people, all of a sudden they realize that this is more than a skill set. This is beyond that. It's a passion, it's a calling. And they tap into a little bit of courage and they step out as an entrepreneur. I remember the first time somebody referred to me as an entrepreneur. I talk about this in that blog post article, and I was wowed that somebody actually thought of me as having enough courage to step out on my own and do this, and have enough business savvy to know how to even start and run a business. And I want to talk about that a little bit in this video here. What is an entrepreneur? When it's defined by the dictionary, it's a person that goes out and starts a business and takes on a risk, a financial risk to do so. Now, a lot of people don't have that kind of courage to take that risk. That's way too far out of their comfort zone. But for somebody like yourself, if you're watching this, I'm guessing that you've tapped into that courage, you've stepped out on your own, and you're like, look, this can't just be a job for me. This is my calling. This is what I'm meant to do here. And you start a business, you find those clients, and you desire to make an impact. Now, here's one of the things that we've noticed in the 12 years that we have been working with startup coaches and other service-based entrepreneurs. We've noticed that there's this common pattern. Because you see, when somebody steps out as an entrepreneur, there's actually 5 rungs to this scale. Like, think of it as a ladder, this evolutionary scale of an entrepreneur. It's a ladder, and there's 5 different rungs on it. The technician, the hobbyist, the entrepreneur, the business owner, the CEO, and the shareholder. So when you tap into that courage, the first step that you take is you're the technician getting paid for what you love to do. But a lot of people take that further because you've probably also sat down, and when you contemplated this, you probably did some vision boards, maybe you even did a business plan. You contemplated your goals as a business, how many clients you want to serve, the revenue you want to make or the revenue you need to make as an entrepreneur, because you see, you're in uncharted territory. A lot of the entrepreneurs that we talk to have never started their own business. That's what happened to me when I got fired. I had no inkling to start my own business, much less any experience. So I was in uncharted territory, and a lot of the folks that we talk to are in that same boat. And so when you step out into becoming an entrepreneur, one of the patterns that we see is that your actions are that of a technician, because that's what you know. But your mindset, your goals are that of a business owner. And there's this disconnect between your actions, being a technician, and the mindset that you have, and the goals that you set. The goals are really of that as a business owner. And you're a little farther down the scale. So it's really important to know exactly where you are on this scale right now and where you want to be. And educating yourself on these 5 stages. We're actually going to do that in the second part, part of this blog post series that we're doing in this Facebook Live discussion that we're having. So stay tuned for that, because I'm going to dive deeper into defining each of those 5 stages. But right now, what I just want you to be aware of this common pattern, that you'll take actions as a technician, but your goals are that of a business owner, and that disconnect is important to be aware of. Because what will happen is, in that disconnect, you'll get frustrated and you'll find yourself saying things like, I just want to coach. I want to make an impact. I want to serve these people I'm meant to serve, and I just want to coach my clients. That's the technician talking. And in order to have a thriving business and make the impact that you want to make and create that success and have fun doing it, you have to be aware of these 5 stages so that not only are your actions, but your mindset and your goals, everything is in total alignment so that you can be authentic. That's where you create a lot of success fast. It's not in knowing the right marketing strategies necessarily, although that does help, or knowing the business acumen, that also will help. But when you're in alignment with the stage that you're in, the rung of the ladder that you're on this entrepreneurial scale, that alignment will create a lot of success fast. So stay tuned. I think I've covered everything, but we've got a lot of time for that because we've got a 5-part series coming out. So stay tuned for the second part in this series, and I'm going to go through those 5 stages and define them in a really deep way, and then I'll see you back here for another kind of intimate discussion and a fun discussion about these topics so that you can be the successful entrepreneur that you know you deserve to be and that your clients are waiting for. I'll see you here for the second part.